You know?
Yeah, so you're fighting tonight and stuff? Are we started?
Yeah, it's already going.
All right, what's up, folks? We're here. This is episode 9 of Play Your Cards podcast. This is one I've been trying to organize for a long time. We're happy to have our guest, pop star Zack Kindall, here today. And you want to introduce yourself, Zack?
Heck yeah, my name's Zach. Been Max's friend for a while now. Who am I? I make music. I love the Lord, and I'm just happy to be here, man. Happy to be here.
So yeah,
How do you guys know each other?
So he was a grade. Actually, it's funny. One of my best friends, Zach. His also name is Zach. He's born the same year, same day as Zach, but Zach happens to be a grade under me.
Yeah.
It's just a weird coincidence.
Yeah.
But like Zach could have been with my grade, but he was actually a year below me.
Yeah.
And so we just knew each other through friends of friends, and he was dating one of my good friends, and
Yep.
we just stayed close ever since. And obviously he's become very successful, and I've always just respected him and his relationship with everybody he's gotten, and just his morals and stuff like that. He just got great life morals and how he looks at life and the things, the lifestyle he lives, and to stay so strong with his morals. So like he lives. The thing I may respect most, honestly, is sorry to bring it up so early, but like I know you're very, like you said, you're religious, and you're completely, and he's completely sober. He's like recording with these big artists who I hate to say it, but majority of them, they're smoking a lot of weed and stuff like that. But like, and I respect you so much to be able to go in there and stay sober and just stay in a stable state of mind while you're doing all this stuff with all these artists out in LA, where it's like the party capital of the world, and you're able to go out there and just stay doing your thing. And I respect that so much. I just wanted to get that off the bat to start the podcast.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
It must be difficult to be like in a creative space when everyone's obviously offering you different things and whatever. I mean, when you're making music, I can only imagine that it's got to be offered to you, right?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But do you feel like some people need that to become more creative? Was there at any point were you using, or were you drinking or smoking regularly?
No.
So you've always been sober.
Yeah.
You said you've had one knockoff beer on your 21st birthday. You said it was nasty.
Yeah,
right?
it was like my mom bought me like what's it called, like a Duels, whatever it's called.
El Duel, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a knockoff, like a non-alcoholic beer. Because she wanted me to try it, just because she thought it was funny. But yeah, I never drank before, never smoked. But yeah, and it's like a lot of these artists tend to.
They must lean into that.
Yes, they have like a dependency really on it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it doesn't affect me in any way, obviously, because I don't.
But your creative process doesn't involve any of that, which is awesome.
This kid's never even had a cup of coffee in his life.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No caffeine ever?
No. I just haven't had coffee. I've had caffeine. I take pre-workout, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm a caffeine guy. Definitely.
Yeah.
That's one thing I could do better on. But as I'm making myself a coffee.
Yeah, I'm a caffeine guy too. I haven't had any. I'll have to have some at dinner tonight for sure.
At dinner?
Well, yeah.
You have caffeine at dinner? What do you like? Espressos?
No, I'll just have a Coke or something like that. Maybe we'll see.
Okay, I see what you mean. So when did you start music? Like how did you come into that?
My family grew up always making music, and I was like the odd one out. I was always playing sports, and we were singing in church, and they were always playing music. My brother's like insane piano player, and I was like, my older brother's really big into theater, so he's always singing in theater, and I was the only one that didn't make music. I was playing soccer and basketball growing up, and then I ended up going to college for soccer, and my freshman year of college, I decided I want to do music.
So what was the shift then? Because you grew up without that,
and
you were obviously around it all the time, but you're like, nah, I'm different. I want to do sports.
Yeah, I just had pride, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think I had just too much pride.
Did you learn to play an instrument when you were younger?
No, not even. And I was just like, I just knew I loved music, and I love being around music, and I love singing in church. And one of my friends from church brought me to a studio one time, and I'm like, oh man, this is it's like that, and I fell in love with it.
So it was through church and through your faith that you kind of explored that, and then you realized that you have a love and an interest for it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's been really cool. Yeah.
And so something I always wanted to ask you is, where do you get the ideas to write your songs? Because I like to write too, and I've written a couple songs. They have nothing that's been produced or ever recorded or anything like that.
Yeah.
But what do you like to write about? What connects you to the lyrics and stuff like that?
Yeah. Sometimes it's just actually all the times where I'm at in life. I just wrote a song called 17 about me wanting to just be younger again, and just like not have to worry about all the craziness of the
taxes
world.
like
just exactly, being an adult. And it's just about like not living the way the society wants like to push on you too. So, but it's just about like what I'm experiencing, whether it be with girls, whether it be with life, or whether it be with God. Like I just want to put it on paper and make something about it.
So do you ever come to a point where you need to like almost force yourself to be creative? And then when you do you have any strategies as far as like getting in that creative space and coming up with something that's actually good?
Yeah, that's a good question. I definitely tend to just like hit a wall sometimes.
Yeah.
And I try just like in the gym or anything. It's like you don't want to do it sometimes, but you just need to do it just to continue to build that discipline and consistency, because the consistency is what allows you to grow. And most of the time, I just make sure to get in that rhythm is to listen to music that I like.
Okay.
And just like jump
Going
off.
through examples.
Yeah, and jump off it and like either like steal some ideas or melodies and just form some ideas together from that. But it's like
put your twist on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yours.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then but yeah, most of the times like I do hit like a block and I'm just like, oh frick, I don't want to do this right now.
So I guess the opposite of that question would be is when do you have the most ideas, or what are you doing, or what activities are happening in your life?
Oh gosh.
When you have the most ideas, and it's just
when
like
when I'm driving.
Yeah.
When I'm driving for some reason, because I'm alone. When I'm driving alone, I'm just sitting in my thoughts, and that's kind of scary. So like.
No, I relate to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just in my car. And that's where most of my time is when I'm riding, is in the car, and I have an idea. I'm just like, for this one song, I'm like, yo, I just wish I was 17 again.
Yeah.
I just wish I was like.
So that's where it came up.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I was driving. I'm like, man, I just like don't want to be doing all this crap right now, and I just wish I was back in high school at 17, like just doing stuff with my friends. Like, so it's usually when I'm just alone and have time to think. I'm just like, okay, I'm.
So you're driving, and you're coming up with all these ideas. You're listening to music. How do you like capture the ideas that you really like, and how do you filter out the ideas, or what does that look like for you when you're saying, this might work, but it should be better?
Yeah.
When do you check yourself and tell you that it should be better? After you've already written something, or after you've already captured the idea?
I think you got it right. With after I've written something and recorded it, I just have a group of people that we send it off to, and we have like a circle of people that are like, okay, this is good or this is trash.
Yeah.
And like you need to fix this, or this is like you need to finish this one because this is really good or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's really important to have those people in your corner. That's the reason why I've found success, is because the people in my corner that have allowed me to receive the encouragement and like what's the word I'm looking for? Just being honest with me, because like there's like people that are honest in my corner that are like
constructive
criticism.
that's
the word. Boom, that's what I was looking for. That have allowed me to like boost my career because of their honesty.
Yeah, you need those real, genuine people that you can trust their opinion.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And you said you went to LA for how long?
About 2 years.
And that must have been an immersion. You said you're in a content house.
Yeah. I was in content house I was there for about 8 months ish there, maybe a year on and off, and it was actually it's an all female content house.
Oh man, that sounds like a lot of fun.
So it was crazy. It was crazy. I met a lot of still my great friends. Shout out to Kings. She's an artist as well. She's incredible.
So wait, why did you get invited to the all-female house?
I don't know.
This guy's got the moves.
No, I don't. So me and my buddy Gianni, who I work with heavy, he's my best friend. He is a videographer, and he offered to shoot the whole all content for the house. And the manager of the house was like, oh heck yeah. So like he wanted to move in, but I was just like kind of there with him. And I met when we had a meeting with the manager of the house. The manager liked me, and he's like, "You want to live here too?" I'm like, "Frick, yeah."
Wow.
Yeah. So
it must have been crazy.
Yeah, it was good. It was like it worked out, and I think he just thought that was like a good fit for the house or something.
So Sorry, Max, you have something
No,
to say?
no, I just had an H. You're all good.
So when you were there, was that like a really highly successful point in your life when you were making a lot of progress very quickly, or was it not?
Yeah, actually, I like career-wise, like I was probably having the most amount of streams I was getting at that time. I was getting the most exposure at that time. I was making the most money at that time. Um,
So definitely,
yes, but like mentally, it was actually the worst time of my life.
it was draining.
Extremely.
Well, and that makes me to the next point. So you said you live in that house. You were out in LA for 2 years. Why don't you just tell the folks what you're doing, where you're leaving soon for the next 2 years?
Great question. This man Max knows what he's doing. I'm actually leaving to go on a mission for my church, and I'll be going to go just share the gospel, to do service projects, and to share my love for the Lord.
And that's where is that about?
Most likely South America.
And what are you going to be doing down there?
Just helping people, sharing the word, my love for the Lord, and hopefully, doing some cool service projects.
So how do you feel about leaving your family and leaving all your friends for 2 years and being somewhere you've never been before in your life?
Scared, scared, honestly. It's a lot because I feel like I'm sacrificing a lot, but I know that the Lord has invited me to do so, and I know that if He's asked me to do something, He's provided a way, and I know that I'll come back being blessed in tenfold if I just continue to remain faithful to what He's asked me to do.
So that's kind of like the opposite of what you were doing before.
Exact opposite.
Which hopefully might be a little bit better on, or less mentally draining, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be way more mentally and spiritually fulfilling, but
Yeah, absolutely.
exactly the opposite of my career. It's gonna take a toll on my career for sure. But that's okay. That's something that I'm willing to
That's
sacrifice.
something you're always going to have.
Yeah, and that's something I'm willing to sacrifice even if I don't have my career. It's like if I have my relationship with the Lord.
Dude, what else do you need?
Yeah, it's like seriously, I have my family, I have like my friends, I have my health. So it's like.
Well, that's like me. Like people are always like, oh, I get talk about my accident. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like it's weird to say that I'm glad I got in my accident because who knows what happened. I kept on doing the stuff I was riding and doing. I could have got hurt a lot worse. So I'm here, so I can't complain about anything. And I got my two great friends right next to me right now. I got a great family, and I got all you guys watching this. So people always say like, oh, why do you do this or why do you do that? It's because you gotta have faith in yourself and others just to let things fall into place and just do what makes you feel comfortable and do the right thing in life.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's very important to move throughout life with a sense of faith.
Yeah, and just being open-minded. Just keeping your mind open to other different opportunities and different people. Like you can't just shut everything down. Oh, I only like this or I only like that, and it just makes your life so tight and just unenjoyable.
So Zach, it seems like anything you do it 110%.
I try. I try.
That's what it sounds like. I mean, this mission that you're going on and moving out to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people respect that too. So, in my position, I feel like I'm going to chase that same thing. I want that full immersion. That's why I'm moving down to Florida, because I want to be around dirt bikes. I want to be around people that are racing more frequently and hopefully progress my skills and find that fulfillment.
That's amazing.
Or just progress, more progress.
Yeah, and
that's what I'm chasing.
And that's the only way you're gonna do it, just by acting on it.
Yeah.
So you're doing the right thing, bro. You're doing the right thing.
And you learn so much quicker when you're in the right environment.
For
right?
sure.
You have to. I mean, especially what you were just talking about.
You're forced to, really.
Yeah, because you gotta sink or swim.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I guess it's less severe in different situations, but I respect that a lot. So, what church do you go to, and what are you part of the missionary, or?
So I go to Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I go to a young adults church up in Massachusetts, actually, and it's great people. We love the Lord there, and it's just man, it's a good church, man. I've learned a lot from there, and I've learned what it's like to have a relationship with Christ.
Did you have to experiment and go to different places?
Wow. I have a lot of other Christian friends that I've loved to talk to because their faith in the Lord is very strong, and I'm able to learn from so many different people, so many different churches, and it's really cool to learn from different communities and cultures within the Christian world,
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much knowledge to learn, bro. And it's like I love learning more about Jesus, and I love learning more about
Strengthening your faith.
exactly, bro. It's like, and that's what allows me to like have conversations like these, because I have like an open-mindedness with sharing my faith with everybody, and I love receiving more. I love receiving more knowledge and wisdom, so I can grow my faith.
So I feel like a lot of people, well, I guess I'll speak from experience. For a long time, I didn't go to church, and then when I started to find my faith again, I just started reading the Bible, and I was like, okay, well, I could do this on my own. And for the longest time, it felt like I just wanted to do it on my own when I was getting back into it.
Yeah.
And then I started going to church again, and I realized like the community aspect of it is nice, feels well, feels good when you're there, but I still don't feel like I'm at home at the same church that I was baptized in. You know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I want to go experiment with different places. And I think that if a lot of people just tried it and then they found what works for them, maybe they'd have a better experience.
Yeah.
Or even just starting with yourself too.
Yeah,
that that's where it starts.
That's where it does start. It's just you and God, you know.
And sorry to interrupt.
No, you say.
So like that's how like one night I literally just like it's my routine before I go to bed. And so then just one night I was just like I felt like it's something I need to start doing. It makes me feel so much comfortable. It just like it makes me just not even grateful. But it just makes me feel like everybody's got different thoughts. Everyone can believe in what they want to believe in and not. But like everybody's got different beliefs. But like I just have my belief in God, and so like I just want to make sure I thank Him for everything He's given me and all the opportunities He's given me in life and all the great people He put around me. So I say my prayer. Like it's not like anything like necessarily a prayer. I just have my own prayer, and it may be different every night. But I just like to thank Him and just wish the best upon myself, all the others, and just I feel like just having a connection with something. Because something bigger is it just feels good. Yeah, it makes me it makes you thankful and just appreciate just everything you have around you and everything that's been handed to us.
Lets your ego not get too big sometimes.
Definitely. That's the biggest thing for me is understanding that my pride gets in the way with my relationship with God.
Oh my God, man. That's something I personally have struggled with too. It's like you almost got to bury that and just you have to be humble, and pride isn't going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
So
the gratitude allows you to rid yourself of pride, because you realize that what you are experiencing in life is not because of
given.
Yeah, you've been blessed with it.
Given.
Yeah, and just like legit, we realize that this life has been given to us because of the fact that our Savior has died for us and saved us, literally. So it's like when I realized that, and I stopped thinking, oh, I'm just this big mighty man who does this. Like, shut the frick up, Zach. You know, so it's like when I actually had like a devout reliance on the Lord and understanding who He is and have a relationship with Him, it changed like my whole perspective. And that's the reason why I wanted to go on a mission now, is because like okay, we're about to get into it. As a teenager, usually in our church, usually for a mission around 18, but I didn't want to because I was too scared. And,
oh shit.
Yeah. So I was like,
How old are you now?
I'm 24.
Okay.
And I always had this prompting to go on a mission, and I was just too scared, and I was too caught up in my own self-righteousness, and I was like I was caught up in my pride because I was like, oh, I want to go to school and make music. I want to do all these other things, you know, right?
Yeah.
And play soccer. And I finally realized that if I'm not committing myself to the Lord, I'm not living a fullness of my life. And taking these next steps, even though I am so scared to go serve a mission, will show that I'm trying to at least commit myself to Him, even if it means to put aside my music for 2 years, put aside my career for 2 years, whatever it may be. But I'm showing God that I care and I'm trying. And even though I'm so scared.
And again, that's all you need to feel fulfilled, right?
Yeah, and that's it. No, for sure. Dude, the joy that comes from living and sharing the gospel of Christ is greater than anything this world can offer me. Greater than any, achievement I've done with music, bigger than any show that I have performed and all that.
Can I just add, the people that aren't religious, whatever you believe in, this probably sounds crazy to them.
Yeah, probably it's like, what the frick is it?
We probably sound like crazy
Yeah,
people.
it's like, dude, it's like I've done some cool things real quick. I've sold out shows with my boy Jake, Sean Kingston, Ross Lynch. I've
Sick.
traveled the world. I've been able to millions of streams on Spotify, make money to be financially free from the internet, and none of that compares to what God offers me.
And you're basically putting that on pause to go on a mission.
Yes.
To go fulfill your faithful.
Yeah, and just to share that with people. Like,
yeah.
I want people to receive that too, because I want them to receive that joy of, salvation with the Lord.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy once you really embrace it, what it does to you. So.
Yeah, because nobody knows what it's all about. But like if you have that connection, then obviously you have the faith, and I feel like the faith is just one thing you have to be thankful for everything, because you have to have faith in anything in life. For life to go on, you have to have faith and trustworthiness, and just something's gonna take care of you.
Yeah, you gotta have faith, man.
Yeah, I feel like some people you just have to have faith in something. And so I also want to talk about, you guys are both obviously very into fitness. So when did you start getting really into fitness?
When I was in LA, so like 2021, 22, like end of 2021. I've been probably working out consistently for like 2.5 years, maybe. And it started because I was living in downtown LA. I didn't have much to do. I didn't have a car. And I was living in an apartment with one of my friends, Luke. Shout out to Luke. Love you, bro. And there was a gym there. So every day I woke up, just went to the gym for 2 hours every day. And it was a way for me to get my day started, to spend time with God in the gym. That's why I like the gym so much as well, because when I'm in the gym, I'm writing everything down. I'm writing all my thoughts. I'm writing like my thoughts, the things I'm like working out, and like how I've progressed or what I'm failing at. Mm-hmm. And it's helped me, again, have a reliance on God and allow God to give me strength. And the gym has been another way for me to devote more time to Him.
So, they say, do you have any tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos, no.
Say this body you're given, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to, if you have to give it back eventually, because we all die?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to say, hey Lord, this body you've given me, I've taken care of it, I've done everything I can for it, so that way, when I give it back to you, this is the best I could do, versus just drinking yourself away, not exercising, fat and chubby. Like, isn't that embarrassing when you go talk to your father? Like, hey, this is what I did with what you gave me.
Yeah, bro. Amen, bro. Dude, I've been talking about this the other day with a friend, so it's funny you said that. It's like our bodies are a temple, and they're a gift, right? They're a gift. And it's like we have this honor and privilege to have them. And I'm like, wow, I want to show God too that I'm so grateful for this body that I've been given. So I want to treat it properly, and I want to make it the best version of myself. And that's, honestly, I'm going off on a little tangent right now, but that's one of my fears, is to not live up to my potential.
So you guys hating on my tattoos? No, I'm just joking.
Nah, man, I'm good with tattoos.
Yeah, well, that's another thing I'm glad you brought it up with tattoos. That's like every tattoo I'm gonna have so far. It's just, they all tell my story, and I respect anybody who gets tattoos, whatever they want, but all my tattoos, I want them to have a meaning to me, so I have connection, so they have connection to me and have a connection, they mean something to me, so they're not just some messy ink that's gonna look like wet newspaper in 50 years in my body. It's my perspective, and it's like my form of art. I'm physically, musically challenged, and I can't draw for anything, but I appreciate my art with amazing tattoos and so that, and I respect people who get them, and I just personally love tattoos in myself.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that, that's like a kind of a, how do you say, your creativity is coming out of you? What would you say,
Outlet?
An outlet, yeah. So I feel like most people, or the majority of people, need some sort of creative outlet, right, to be a happier person. Obviously, some more than others, but was music something for you that was a big outlet for you?
Yeah. Great question. Yeah. It allowed me to digest what I'm feeling.
So do you think that the majority of people would benefit if they had some creative outlet?
Oh, for sure. Already? I think, I tend to do this a lot, but I would like to relate it back to God. But God is a God of creativity, right? Yep. God is masterfully creative, and we are created in His image. that being said, that we are created to create as well.
You're creators.
Yeah, we are created to create things, whatever it may be. Could be a guy's a tattoo artist, could be someone is in the gym creating a better body, or whether it be a musician. We're still created to create, and whatever that outlet is, I think it's so important because we have been given this light to instill within us to share with others, and it looks different. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is Matthew 5:16. It says, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven." And the thing I like about it is that we've been given an individual light of Christ within us, but it's different. Max's is different than mine. Ethan's different than mine. And the reason why it's important is because we're called to share. We're called to serve. And you yourself can only be able to serve in that specific and individual way that God has called you to serve. I think it's so important because whatever that outlet is there for a reason. And our gifts are given to us for a reason because we know that we're the only ones capable of serving that one person that needs to be served. And I think we need to accept that responsibility by magnifying our talents, by being better at our talents each day and sharing them, whether it be like doing this podcast or making content, whatever it may be.
Creating. Yeah,
creating, just period.
Well, that's my thing. I love to write. I should do it more often, but like I've started writing a book about my story, and that's something I definitely like to complete one day. I always say I want to do more with it, but like lately at work when it's been slow or something like that, like I'll open up like, oh, I can write this down.
That would be awesome.
And like I've started. I've gotten a good. I'd like not even anywhere close to being done, but it's just like my outlet, just like to share my point of view, just like because everybody thinks like, oh, this is everybody like got a different look at like how I look at life, and like and like I just like to share my perspective and just kind of like and just like tell people like what I went through so they can like see that just because something bad happens doesn't mean it's got to have a bad outcome.
Sure.
Max, there'd be so many people that would read that book.
Yeah,
I would.
Yeah, it's something I really want to do one day. I'm very dedicated to that, and it's something I really like to finish one day.
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to see that.
But do we have anything else? What else do we think? Anything else? Any things we've missed, or what's your outlet actually, Ethan? We didn't talk about that.
My outlets, well, I like working out, man.
Yeah,
that's what I need. That's what I need in my life, and I figured that out. And if I don't have that, I'm a really miserable, awful person.
Me too.
So if I don't have that, then everything else goes down the drain.
Yeah.
So that's where it starts for me, and I've been trying to be more creative. I think it does help in a sense, as far as like when you are creative, you can't be super stressed, you know. So to get into that creative mind space, you kind of have to at least remove yourself from stressors for a little while.
Very true.
Prioritize what you're gonna do and what you're setting your life around, and who you're hanging out with and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all of that as well as like a total. Everyone has stress in their life, no matter how optimized or whatever your routines are. But if you want to be creative, you really have to almost like bring yourself out of that for a little while, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, and just let yourself be creative, be the creator.
Yeah.
And have, like you said, almost God shining through you.
No, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure.
So.
And the cool thing is that like God can co-create with you, you know, whatever it may be. When you invite Him.
Such a cool way to look at it, by the way.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
No, I like that a lot because He is the creator.
Yeah.
And we're built in His image.
Yeah.
So we are also creators.
Yeah, and it's so cool to think about.
Versus any other animal.
Yeah.
They're not creating. And well, I mean, maybe something, but.
Creating other animals, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's so cool to think about. It's like God has like trusts us this much and loves us this much. He's given us this responsibility to create in His image. Like, whoa. Like, that's pretty humbling to think. Like,
yeah, it is pretty awesome.
It's like God loves us this much that He's given us all these talents so that we can... And
that's probably why people have, like, such a connection with either looking at a painting or listening to some music that they really like.
Yes, dude.
It's connecting with them on a different level.
Yeah, like a spiritual level.
Yeah.
And but that's why, like, worship music is, like, so powerful. That's why... very like reverent paintings and these amazing like sculptures. That's why it's so powerful, because there's a connection to understand that this is crafted or co-created with God.
And it can also be different perspective for every single person that looks at it. Every person's gonna have a different thought about it.
So true. Even look at Scripture. When you look at the Word and read it, like I could read something and you could read the same thing, but we can interpret it two different ways.
And that's what I was a majority of people. everybody reads or watches a movie or watches a play or something like that. Everybody's got different views of life, and that's just the great thing about life. That there's no wrong answers and there's no right answers, and it's just an open book. And I think that might be a good spot. What do you guys think? Do you have anything else to say? Or?
I like it, man.
Well, I just want you to please go check out Zack Kindall's music. Please give the podcast a share.
A like, follow.
Yeah, I gotta get your boys your people to give it a share too.
Yeah, if you're here from me, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you, and it was great. It was awesome having Zack on, and hopefully we have more episodes out soon. Thank you.